what someone can find is that there is one area of their life, or perhaps even their whole life, that is not going as they want it to. And when it comes to this area of their life, they can often feel angry and frustrated, even resentful, and they can feel helpless. And because of this, they can experience a lot of resistance, because there's going to be how they want to experience life, and then there's going to be what is actually taking place. And this can go on and on and on and on. And to quote Carl Jung, he said, what we resist is what not only persists, but it also grows. And so because they're in this place of resistance, they're just going to create more of the same, more of what they don't want. And to go even deeper as to why this will take place. To do this, we will need to look at the law of resonance. And what the law of resonance says or states, and this is a quantum physics law, is that everything is made up of vibrating energy. And so in order for two things to be drawn together, there has to be a match. Both things need to be vibrating at the same frequency, and then they will literally be pulled together. If there is not a match, then those two things will not be brought together. But of course, as everyone and everything on this planet is vibrating energy, this means that someone is always going to be in a match with something. They're always going to be matching up with something. And so, to bring it back to this example, when someone is coming from a place of resistance, so they are focusing on what they don't want, they are going to be vibrating at the very level of what they don't want. So naturally, they are going to pull more things into their life. They're in alignment with what they are vibrating. But the challenge is that through being identified with their mind and caught up in what their eyes tell them, someone can see themselves as just an observer of reality. So there's then going to be what is taking place within them and what is going on externally. And these things are not going to be seen as being connected. And of course, through having this outlook of them just being an observer, it can be normal for them to see themselves as a victim, because they all want one thing, but their life will be giving them something else. So naturally, they will be a powerless victim. But thanks to the law of resonance, it shows that they are not a victim. Now, of course, someone can look towards science to see this, or they can simply go within. And this can be seen as a difference between the mystic and the scientist. The scientist goes without for answers, so looks externally, and the mystic goes within, so they go inside themselves to find out what is true. And this is why it has been said for thousands of years, going back to ancient Egypt, that we are the co-creators of our reality. And of course, quantum physics has said this more recently, but this is nothing new. But even though this has been around for thousands of years, it's still not something that has permeated the collective consciousness. Of course, there was The Secret and the Law of Attraction, which focuses primarily on someone's thoughts and how their thoughts create their reality, which is not the complete truth, because it is someone's thoughts, emotions, feelings and beliefs that manifest their reality. It's not just their thoughts alone. So because this hasn't permeated the collective consciousness, it means that so many people on the planet are naturally seeing themselves as a victim. And this can be seen as what takes place when someone is caught up in their third chakra, because this is the area that's to do with the ego, the sense of self. And when this part of someone is not in balance, they can be caught up in power struggles and ego games, and their whole life can be seen as a competition, a battle, a test. And because they see themselves as a victim, then of course there has to be perpetrators, so they're going to manifest situations, primarily unconsciously, where they will be victimized by others. So for someone to realize that they are not simply a passive observer of their reality, and that they are actually a conscious or a co-creator of their reality, and to bring it back to the example I started off with, to experience more of what they want and less of what they don't want, they will need to be mindful of what they are focusing on, so they can start to be the very thing that they want. And this is why it is not so much about attracting anything, it's more about being the very thing that one wants to experience. But of course, if someone wants to experience something, usually they're in a place of being the opposite of that, which is why they want to experience it. So if someone feels worthless or powerless, they're going to want to have experiences where they feel powerful and worthy and valuable. And through experiencing, through being, through coming from a place of lack and not having these things, they will create more of the same. So in order for someone to experience externally what they want, they need to be the very vibration. So they need to be vibrating from a place of value, power, love, connection, whatever it is. And one of the, perhaps the main reason why someone would not be vibrating from this place is because they are carrying trauma, so they can feel like an empty vessel, empty, and as though there's nothing going on within them. And then naturally they will crave so much externally because they will be in this barren, empty place. So one way is for someone to be mindful of what they think about and to start to consciously experience the feelings that they are looking to experience through attaining things. And another way will be to deal with their trauma. Of course, this is a lifelong process, so it's never going to be done. But through working through their inner wounds, going back to what happened when they were children, perhaps just after their birth, and perhaps even the trauma they experienced when they're in their mother's womb, through dealing with this, they will start to vibrate naturally the things that they want to experience. So they will naturally feel valuable, experience love. And all of these states relate to what someone will experience when they're in their body. When they're in their body and their trauma is being dealt with, they will start to naturally feel valuable, deserving, and a deeper sense of love. But all the time they are living up top in their head and they are disconnected from the gold that is within them, then they will be craving so much. So if you can relate to this and you can see that you are in a place of resistance and you don't feel whole and complete, then using your mind to focus on what it is you want, so you can experience the feelings that will allow you to attract what you desire, and resolving your trauma will allow you to transform your life. And this is something that can take place with external support, maybe the assistance of a therapist or a healer, or you can reach out to me and I can assist you in this process. But the main thing is that you take action and do what you need to do to slowly transform your life, because you deserve to live a deeply fulfilling life.